Stop what you're doing. 41.9 million Americans are under a severe weather threat right now. Thursday and Friday are carrying something that has forecasters genuinely losing sleep right now. If you live from New England down through Oklahoma, the next 72 hours matter a lot. Stick with me at the 5-minute mark. I will show you exactly why Friday worries me most. And I have real good news locked in at the very end, not just softening the blow. I have been staring at these SPC maps all morning, and one thing keeps pulling me back. 3 separate risk zones inside 72 hours is not a normal late May setup, not even close. This week is going to get written about in weather circles. Let us walk through it together. Let us start right now because the East Coast threat is already developing as I talk. The SPC has a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from eastern Kentucky all the way to New England. New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., all 4 cities are inside that risk zone right now. Here's what makes today different from a typical East Coast severe weather day. Pay attention. The tornado probability across this entire corridor is essentially 0 today, is a straight-line wind event. That matters because straight-line wind does not give you the same warning time a rotating storm does. A storm core can race from nothing on radar to 70 miles per hour gusts at your door in minutes. The SPC wind outlook shows a 15% damaging gust probability across the entire Mid-Atlantic corridor. 15% sounds low until you realize the June 2012 derecho started at that same probability level. Providence and Hartford, all of southern New England, is inside today's wind threat through this evening. Newark and northern New Jersey, your severe weather window opens this afternoon and runs into early evening. Pittsburgh and Lexington Fayette are both tagged in the broader marginal risk zone around the edges today. Bob Simmons in Alexandria, Virginia. Bob, today is the afternoon you want to be home early. Carol Myers in Hartford. Carol, your window runs through tonight, so keep those phone alerts up. Straight-line winds do not rotate like a tornado, but they level structures just as fast. A 70 miles per hour straight-line gust can snap an oak tree that has stood in that yard for decades. That same gust takes utility poles down and leaves entire neighborhoods in the dark for days. Check your yard right now. Anything loose out there becomes a projectile in a wind event. Drop your city in the comments right now, and I will be back tonight with your local breakdown. Meanwhile, a completely separate severe weather threat is firing across southwest Texas right now. A southern stream shortwave is diving into northwest Mexico and pulling lift toward West Texas tonight. Midland, Odessa, Del Rio, West Odessa, you are inside a 15% large hail probability for tonight. Storms push slowly eastward through West Texas this evening, with large hail and gusty winds on the table. Frank Hollister down near Midland. Frank, that 15% hail probability tonight is not one to ignore. Storm development over the Davis Mountains looks likely before sunset, with cells spreading east after dark. If you are near West Texas tonight, keep your weather app open and stay heads up out there. Today is actually the quietest of the 3 days this week. Hear that loud and clear. What is setting up Thursday and Friday is on a completely different level entirely, and I mean that. Here is where this forecast takes a turn that is going to surprise a lot of people. The SPC posted a Day 2 slight risk for Thursday, with the target zone focused on southeast Colorado. Fort Morgan and Lamar, Colorado are sitting right inside the core of that Thursday slight risk zone. Only 88,000 people live inside that slight risk, but storm quality beats quantity on days like this. A 2% tornado probability is posted for the Colorado-Kansas corridor for Thursday afternoon. 2% sounds low until you remember that is how every significant tornado outbreak in history started. Effective bulk shear around 30 to 35 knots with low 60s dew points is serious supercell fuel today. Organized supercell storm mode is the expected storm type Thursday, and large hail is the primary hazard. The Day 2 slight risk covers 18,882 square miles, roughly the size of West Virginia. Models already flag upscale MCS growth pushing east with hail and wind continuing through Friday morning. Southeastern Colorado does not get enough attention on severe weather days, but Thursday it earns it all. The terrain there acts like a ramp that fires surface air straight up into the supercell ingredient zone. When the SPC posts a 2% tornado probability over any area, local emergency managers take notice. Fort Morgan had a significant hail event in May 2023, and Thursday's setup carries that same exact flavor. Earl out in Lamar Thursday afternoon is not the time to be out in an open field. Earl, get that weather radio charged tonight and know exactly where your shelter is before noon tomorrow. Weather radios are the single most reliable warning tool when a tornado is heading your way. A battery backup radio keeps working when the cell tower is down and your phone has no signal. Picture a baseball-sized chunk of ice dropping at 60 miles per hour straight onto your windshield. A vehicle caught in a large hail-producing supercell can look completely totaled in under 90 seconds. Hail that size does not care what you're driving, damages on contact flat out every time. After a major hail event, roof damage claims alone can run into the tens of thousands per property. Friday, May 22nd, and this is where the pattern demands your full and undivided attention. The SPC has a Day 3 slight risk over the southern plains with 529,000 people inside the core. Surrounding that slight risk is a marginal zone covering 2.5 million people through Oklahoma and Texas. Amarillo, Altus, Pampa, Dumas, Borger, all 5 cities are sitting inside that Friday slight risk boundary. Oklahoma City, Norman, Wichita Falls, Denton, Lawton all tagged inside the Friday marginal risk zone. The SPC Day 3 discussion flagged a shortwave trough going negatively tilted into the upper Mississippi Valley. Negatively tilted troughs produce the most explosive severe weather setups. This is not textbook exaggeration. A belt of enhanced mid and upper level flow cuts straight across the Central Plains on Friday afternoon. The setup runs from organized supercell mode in the afternoon into upscale MCS growth by Friday evening. Friday evening is when that squall line pushes east with a widespread damaging wind threat attached. The worst of Friday arrives after dark after most people are already home and off their guard. I keep going back to one word in the SPC Day 3 discussion, and that word is predominant. The SPC called large hail the predominant hazard Friday afternoon, not possible, not likely, predominant. When the SPC uses that word on a supercell day, baseball-size hail is absolutely on the table. Baseball size, not golf ball, not quarter actual baseball, dropping at 60 miles per hour into your neighborhood. Texas Panhandle through central Oklahoma, drop your city below, and I will personally watch your radar Friday. Amarillo, you're right at the slight risk core. Friday supercell development looks likely in your area. Altus and Lawton, your Friday afternoon window is where isolated tornado-capable supercells are on the table. Oklahoma City, marginal on Friday does not mean clear your window, just arrives later in the evening. Norman and Wichita Falls, Friday evening is exactly when the MCS pushes east with damaging gusts. Denton and the DFW Metro, you sit on the southern fringe, but you are inside the thunderstorm threat. Scottsbluff and Sterling, Nebraska are both in the SPC Day 2 marginal population table for Thursday. Communities on the outer fringe of a marginal can see brief severe weather when a setup over-delivers. Margaret in Oklahoma City, no storm shelter nearby, and Friday is not the day to improvise. A ground floor interior bathroom with no windows is a perfectly solid tornado shelter. Get familiar with it. Get your kids, your pets, and your most important documents into that interior room before Friday evening. An MCS moving through after dark is the exact scenario emergency managers prepare specifically for. Most people have no idea a squall line is coming until they hear the wind pick up outside. The SPC Day 3 discussion also flags a non-zero tornado risk in the Ohio and Tennessee valleys Friday. A warm front lifting through the Tennessee Valley may support transient supercells inside the broader rain shield. Cincinnati, Columbus, Indianapolis Friday overnight deserves attention even outside the primary severe zone. Louisville and Lexington, the SPC flags strengthening 850 millibar flow Friday afternoon into Friday night. That 850 millibar flow Friday night is the low-level jet signature for nocturnal severe weather events. A strong low-level jet Friday night is the silent ingredient behind the worst overnight storm events. Nocturnal severe weather is significantly more dangerous because most people are asleep when warnings go out. At midnight, you cannot see a rotating wall cloud. Make your shelter plan before sunset Friday. Dale in Cincinnati asked me if May would stay quiet this year. Dale, the answer is no. Tonight is the night you make sure everyone in that house knows exactly where the interior room is. Here is the bigger picture that ties all 3 days together into one connected weather story. Day 1 today is a heating and wind event from the Appalachians through the mid-Atlantic into New England. Day 2 Thursday is a focused supercell event in southeast Colorado tight area, real tornado potential. Day 3 Friday is the most widespread supercells growing into an MCS across the southern plains. 3 separate weather stories inside 72 hours, all driven by the same fractured jet stream pattern. The jet stream right now looks like a roller coaster that has completely gone off the rails. Every time the jet stream gets this fractured, people get caught off guard. Not you, not today. Here is what you actually need to do, and I am keeping this straight and simple for you. East Coast today, watch the sky hard between 2 and 8 p.m. with your phone alerts on. Do not let a quiet morning fool you into thinking the afternoon is going to stay that way. If a storm fires on radar near you today, move to your safe spot. Do not wait. Southeast Colorado and southwest Kansas shelter up before Thursday afternoon, not while it is happening. Have your shelter spot locked in Thursday morning before the first supercell shows up on any radar. Texas Panhandle through central Oklahoma Friday afternoon is your high attention window this entire week. Have your shelter plan locked in before noon Friday, well before the first storm cell fires up. Charge every device you own tonight. Supercell's knockout power with absolutely zero warning at all. Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle outdoor workers plan to be fully indoors before 3 p.m. on Friday. Move outdoor furniture and loose gear inside. Before Friday morning, a Supercell will move them otherwise. A car sitting outside during a large hail event takes thousands in damage in under 1 minute. Sandra Phelps in Amarillo. Sandra, your family waits until storms are visible before acting. Friday is not that day. Have your plan made before noon, not when the sirens go off. I will be watching Amarillo on radar all Friday evening and will push updates the moment anything develops. Here is the good news I promised you at the top, and I genuinely mean it. Not me trying to end on a warm note. This is real good news for a change. Once this 3-day system clears the country by late Friday, early guidance shows a quieter stretch building. No major organized severe weather is expected Saturday or Sunday and after this week. That is welcome. The quiet period is expected to hold from Saturday through Monday based on current model consensus. After 3 active days across the country, a calm weekend stretch is something we all genuinely need. The pattern is not done for the season. Late May model runs are already flagging another system. I will be back with a full late May outlook once the day 4 through 8 guidance gets sorted. The numbers that matter this week are 41.9 million today, 88,000 Thursday, and 529,000 on Friday. All 3 of those numbers are real people. Drop your city below and let me know. I am not here to scare anyone. I am here so Friday does not ruin your weekend. Make sure notifications are turned on so you do not miss a single update through the weekend. Stay heads up, stay smart, and never let a quiet morning fool you about the whole day. Visible satellite this afternoon shows that heating corridor already baking from Kentucky into New Jersey. That corridor of clear sky is exactly where the instability is building fastest this afternoon. The SPC made only minor wind probability adjustments at 2 p.m. today. This setup is verifying. Minor adjustments on a live threat day mean the original setup is tracking exactly as feared. The jet stream boundary aloft is parked in a position that is ideal for fast-developing wind-producing storms. Power restoration after a widespread straight-line wind event can take 24, 48, sometimes 72 hours. Charge your phone and your backup battery right now because you may need them through the night. Do yourself a solid and text someone your check-in plan before the storm window opens this afternoon. Pecos, Texas sits inside the SPCCIG1 hail zone for today. That is a real hail designation. The National Weather Service in Midland will be watching those Davis Mountain storms very closely tonight. Good grief, 3 different threat zones on 3 different days is a stretch that deserves respect. The same jet stream pattern driving today's East Coast wind threat is also driving Thursday's supercells. 2 days from now, the conversation will be on a completely different and more serious level. Southeast Colorado supercells have open terrain to breathe, and that gives them room to grow. The National Weather Service in Pueblo will be closely monitoring Thursday's setup for the Denver metro area. When you see a 2% tornado probability and a slight risk, treat it like the setup means business. Southeastern Colorado produced a significant hail-producing supercell in May 2023 on a nearly identical setup. Do yourself a solid and get your shelter plan confirmed Thursday morning before work even starts. Insurance adjusters across Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle are already paying attention to Friday's setup. A roof hit by baseball-sized hail during a supercell can easily require a full replacement. The SPC Day 3 slight risk on Friday covers 36,626 square miles across the southern plains. Oklahoma Tornado Alley sits right inside that Friday slight risk zone. Y'all know what that means. Storm chasers from across the country are already making plans for Friday's Texas Panhandle setup. The SPC flagging Friday this early on Day 3 tells you how high the confidence already is. An organized squall line pushing through after dark is the scenario that catches the most people off guard. Your window to shelter during a nighttime tornado warning is a fraction of what you have in daylight. Friday night is the whole ball game. Make sure you have something to wake you up. A weather radio with battery backup running in your bedroom Friday night is worth every dollar it costs. Nocturnal tornado events are significantly more deadly because most victims never had a chance to shelter. Louisville and Cincinnati have both seen significant nocturnal severe weather events in the last 5 years. The 850 millibar low-level jet Friday night will be screaming. Forecasters are watching it very closely. Everyone in the impact zone should identify their shelter spot tonight before the setup even develops. A calm Sunday is absolutely worth protecting by making sure Saturday stays that way for your family. People who come through events like this safely are almost always the ones with a plan ready. People who get caught are the ones who figured it would not be as bad as forecast. Do not be that person. This setup is real and the SPC is not guessing. Mark my words, the Amarillo through Oklahoma Panhandle corridor on Friday is the one to watch. Sandra, I will be watching Potter County radar Friday evening and will post the moment anything develops. Send this video to anyone you know in Amarillo, Oklahoma City, or the Mid-Atlantic before tonight. A heads up from someone they trust is worth 10 push notifications they are going to swipe away. The late May pattern signals are worth watching if you farm, ranch, or work outdoors in the plains. Early late May runs are already hinting at a system that could bring another severe weather window. We will be tracking every development live. Make sure those notifications are turned on right now. This is one of those weeks where staying informed matters more than normal. Stay with us. God bless, stay safe out there, and we will see you in the next update.